If you're like me, you find yourself constantly in situations in Escape from Tarkov where you felt like you got first shots on a guy or you were clearly going to kill this guy and you end up just instantly dying. And in this video, we're talking about the importance of training to aim a little up and always go for those headshots. I'm JesseKazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. This is another one of our lessons from beyond the grave where we take a look at some clips from my stream where I died and we break down what happened and what we can learn from that to be better players in the future. I stream on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So like we said, kind of the main takeaway from this video is why to, aim a little bit higher than sometimes it feels like you should. Go for those headshots. And of course, you're like, duh, aim for the head. That's the simplest thing. But sometimes knowing something and mechanically doing it is a different thing. And sometimes even if you know, you're worried about missing those shots, so you want to just secure those center of mass shots. But as we'll see in some of these clips, if you're against an enemy who is doing well or trained that way, then they can just clip you with one shot and kind of end that fight while you're trying to get those center of mass shots. So, and then additionally, there's always smaller things that we pull from the video. So as always, what we'll do is we'll watch the clip back in its entirety, and then we'll kind of go back and talk about what went down. So this is a nighttime shoreline run, trying to get some quests done, get some items, and we run into this guy, and this happens. Yep. I'm dead. So it's really easy to see the frustration on my face there. So I actually felt like I was really proud of how the first half of that fight went down. Like if I had killed that guy, this would have almost been a teaching tactics video instead of a lessons from beyond the grave. But so starting off, map knowledge beyond just where loot is, a lot of times is stuff like this. It's me knowing this late in the raid, there could be somebody in admin. I'm making a bunch of noise by running across. I don't want to walk across because I don't want to get sniped from a balcony. So I'm thinking if someone's in there, they're going to be holding this. So when I jump up here, I'm not even really looking inside. I'm just running across. I didn't even notice until watching the clip back that we can actually see this guy right here leaning out, doing exactly what I said. My goal here was just to run across this opening, and if somebody was there, potentially bait out shots, which we did. So I was like, okay, let me figure out what I want to do. I'm not sure where he is because I didn't see him. So I kind of come around here, just shoot the glass. I wasn't shooting at anybody. I just wanted to break glass and get him scared. He shoots at me over there. I re-peek this way. I still don't know exactly where he is. Take a quick shot. He dumps more of his mag. And at this point, I'm thinking he's going to want to go for a reload soon. If I can bait out one more spray, I might be able to identify exactly where he is, and I can push him into that reload. And that worked flawlessly. I just peek out here, once again, using a ton of movement. If I had stopped right here and just kind of peeked, he would have got me there. I'm just using my momentum. He puts more shots, and I hear him go for the reload. Now, this situation is rough because on one hand, this is even that next level of map knowledge, knowing that he doesn't have anywhere to go. He's kind of stuck in there. I remember this happened really recently, so I remember this. I didn't have any grenades. I had used all my grenades already in this raid. I didn't have a nade. A nade would have been a great way to either eliminate him or force him out. So my options here are push him for the reload or, wait for him to kind of peek out. Recently, I really have not been enjoying me holding an angle and the other person going for those quick peeks and pre-fire sprays and then me dying because maybe there's a little bit of desync or something. So I don't, as much as maybe in this situation it would have been the right call, in the moment I really didn't want to play the game where I'm stationary holding an angle and hoping that the desync works in my favor. I didn't want to give him that peeker's advantage, so I went for it. I tried to push the reload. I tried to make sure that I stopped sprinting right around here so my gun would be at the ready. And look what happens. Look where I'm shooting. I hit the sink right here, and then I hit his arm, but I'm hitting at arm height. And as he's walking around, as he's like moving this way, finishing the reload, I am shooting him in the chest and in the arms, and he gets it's like his first shot, basically, once he actually chambers that round. and then points his gun into my face and just shoots me with that first shot. So in this situation, if I had been aiming a little bit higher, if I had come around that corner with my gun at head height and was holding down the trigger, I would have got him. The little bit of a slower fire rate on the MDR got me a little bit here. I could have peeked in like this and then just immediately ran away. There's a few things I could have done. Like we said, I could have waited for him to peek. I could have, thrown a grenade if I had one. I could have kind of peeked in and then ran out. I could have tried to bait him out of that into a different position and extended this firefight. But there's just something in your brain that when you hear somebody go for a reload and they're only 10 feet away from you, you just push it. You try and get them while they're doing it. It's the same thing when you hear like a healing animation or a CMS. Something in your brain triggers and you just push. So this wasn't even necessarily a bad push. Like we said, if I had been head height, especially in night raids, everybody's rocking nods. Basically, nobody's rocking face shields. So first shot, almost any ammo, first shot is going to drop somebody when you're shooting the head. So it's even more important. So this is one of those things where I died. I was frustrated. I watched the clip back, and the more I realized that he just got the headshot. He was aimed higher. I was aimed low. I was aimed center of mass. It probably would have taken me 2 or 3 more shots because some of my shots probably hit him in the arm. So this is one of those situations where you can play something really well. I was really proud of how the first part of that fight kind of played out. But because of the lethality of Tarkov, because headshots are so devastating, I had night vision, so anything in my face was going to kill me too. You have to kind of take that extra precaution. So these are moments where really training up. We did that video recently, the Tarkov aim trainer, going into factory offline with some lasers and really training yourself to go head height and learning the distances, learning that when you're really, really close range, that head height is a little bit higher than if I was in East Wing shooting a guy, 4, 5, 6 doors down the hallway, head height is a little bit lower. So training yourself on that. Close quarters combat like this can be a little weird and desyncy in Tarkov. So learning how to just stop these fights before they even begin is huge. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a clip on reserve, a daytime clip where something kind of similar happens. This guy's up top on the roof. I'm dead, bro. Are you kidding me? Again, super frustrated that I missed that opportunity. This was an interesting one. So I don't play reserve often at all. So this is like the flip side of the first half of that shoreline clip. I felt like my map knowledge really worked in my favor. I knew where somebody potentially was going to be. I was able to bait out their shots, kind of force that dude into a corner. This is kind of the opposite, where I'm kind of just standing out in the open. I'm hearing a guy. I remember this raid as well. We heard a suppressed M1A on the roof of this building at one point, and now I'm hearing somebody run around in the building. I don't know if it's 2 people. I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to figure out where. I don't want to get shot from these other buildings, but I'm just super basically confused. I'm not very comfortable with this map. I don't know all the angles where this guy could be, and I don't want to push in there and just kind of walk right into this dude's trap. So I'm trying to listen, and then I hear the steps super close on the same floor as me, which once again, this building has so many different ways up and down connecting to all sorts of different places. I'm confused, and I don't want to make the wrong choice here. So I hear this guy close, and so I peek in. I kind of noticed him a little late because I thought he would have been holding a closer corner, or he would have come out of one of these doors. Kind of sitting right here in the middle of the room surprised me. So as I'm going away from the peak, I go for the shot. And once again, you can kind of see that shot hit low. That very first shot, I didn't hit him with it, but if I had, it would have hit him in center of mass or arm. Now, this is one of those critical moments where I think one of our other Beyond the Graves, where it was like peek, shoot, move. I think the better play here, even though, yes, I should have had higher aim, the better play here is at this moment, push away and either go up, either go back in this building from a different angle, go across and wait for him to peek out. But the whole at least in my experience, I lose these battles a lot where I peek in, peek out, and then peek back in. You know what I mean? I see him here. I miss my opportunity to go for the kill. I should have kind of just left and made this guy reposition or gone for a flank on him. But from his perspective, he's basically 99% positive of exactly what I'm going to do and re-peek that, and he can kind of start pre-firing it. We both missed quite a few shots, and as I step back in, I hit him in the arm there, and my aim goes a little bit higher just because of the nature of the gun, and I think I do hit him. It feels like in like the neck or somewhere, maybe even a ricochet off the helmet, but those first few shots could have taken him down, or I should have just completely repositioned. And we're both kind of doing this strafe thing where I'm just like holding D or holding W and just kind of like constantly moving, which adds a lot of sway to the weapon. My shots are kind of all over the place, and he ends up taking me down. So this is another one of those examples where if I had been at head height from the start, and it gives you the opportunity for those really crisp, really quick, eliminations and really quick kills. It is scary because most guns have some sort of vertical bump, which is very understandable. So a lot of people aim center of mass and then let the recoil work in their favor. But for CQB fights where oftentimes these fights are over in 1 or 2 shots, if you're going center of mass and you're just waiting for it, you've got that's going to take time. And like we saw here, if people are like AD strafing, you're not having that clean start at center of mass and work their way up to the head. By the time you're up to the head, they've moved and you've missed your shots. So in these really tight close quarters battles where peeker's advantage and desync often come into play, having your aim rock solid on head height doesn't mean you're always going to hit the shot, but that in combination with that other Beyond the Grave we did where it was like peek, shoot, move, where right here, boom, I missed my shots. I should have just bailed. Those two things combined are really going to increase that survival rate because you're giving yourself the opportunity to basically end the fight before it starts, and you're giving yourself a way out so that you don't do the exactly most expected thing from your enemy. So these few clips happened recently on stream and have been happening to me a lot, and kind of going all the way back to the beginning. If you feel like this is happening to you where you feel like, I got the jump on this guy and I still died, or I'm putting good shots on it and I still died. I know it always feels like, at times in Tarkov, it always feels like it's desync. It always feels like it's peeker's advantage. It always feels like the other dude's cheating. And I understand that. But a lot of times, if people are getting those headshots, whether they were lucky or whether they've trained that skill to be aiming a little bit higher than center of height, then those fights can end really, really quickly. So, and then additionally, that's your way to battle those things that are rough with Tarkov, the desync, the peeker's advantage. If you're the one peeking and then moving so that you don't let that guy peek you, and if you're the one kind of just at that head height, ending that fight before it begins with that first shot, then you can kind of like combat some of those things that are frustrating. So hopefully this helped. Like we said, go back to that Tarkov aim trainer video and run offline factories with some lasers, no optics, learn to point fire at head height in CQB, and it will definitely serve you well. So hopefully you try that out. Hopefully that this helped. You can pull some of this and apply it to your games and survive some more raids and Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out the video. If you liked the video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel. That stuff helps me out a ton. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. Those links will be down below. And if you're looking for people to play with, our Discord community is awesome. We've got over 5,000 people in there, a Sherpa program, looking for group channels. It's a great place to be if you're looking for people to play with. Thank you so much again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.